I am the type that have said I am an evangelist of truth from the Biafran land. We are the people that speak nothing but the truth because we understand the way Nigeria is going. Nigeria is a country that built their state, their nation in a planter of lie. You know, I told you people that nothing happened to Simon Ekpa. The young man is at home, relaxing and resting. Simon Ekpa not being in the convention was as a result of the attempt to assassinate him, which God helped him by using the Finland government in conjunction with the Nigerian propaganda media they are using against Simon Ekpa. Thank God that a man from Finland that come from the Department of Investigation, in person of Miko, or whatever, from the state CID, the federal, from the President Alexandra himself, sent this man to do the investigation about the false allegations against the Prime Minister. And finally, he has come out after the investigation and made it openly that Simon Ekpa is a free man, is a man that has no criminalism in his hand. That what Nigeria allegedly accused him of was false. And thank God, that's what I'm saying. Now, as I was saying, you know, the young man will have finished the investigation and is now saying it openly. After this, that's why I said, after this, go and do the investigation. You will hear him saying it, that what happened was as a result of Nigerian pressure on Finland. And they acted on behalf of the pressure in order to investigate thoroughly about this man that have been in their country for years. And what Nigeria was standing upon was based on the matter that have been treated and dusted in 2021. That has no issue with the current state of things. That is to tell you, Nigeria has been in the state of propaganda. No truth in Nigeria. And this young man said nothing like what? Me going to court. Do you know that when Nigeria come up with that, I was even happy that they should go to court if they burn Nigeria well. If they burn Nigeria, Federal Republic of Nigeria well, let them go to court. Musa nnamdikanu invited them, told them, throw it to them. He said they should charge it to court, international ICC, International Criminal Court. They should charge it here. And that is why he was boldly to tell the Federal High Court of Nigeria that anybody that try him is a terrorist. He said nobody in Nigeria have the right, no judge have the right to try him here in Nigeria. That is to tell you a man of integrity that knows what he's doing. And now they are saying, Simon Ekpa, this is Nigeria, nothing, they don't burn them well, they no fit. I wish. But glory be to God, in everything that has happened, as they intend to assassinate him, God will use Finland to spare his life. He not being present in the convention has no business to do with Nigeria. It is a game planned and well planned and executed. And that is to tell you that if Simon Ekpa is not there, someone else can pick it up. When Musa nnamdikanu was kidnapped, Simon Ekpa picked it up. Are you getting it? And Simon Ekpa is not around. Someone else, a woman now have taken it up. Do you see that Biafra is unstoppable? It's a spirit that cannot be stopped, that cannot be hindered. It is something that has been registered in the realm of the spirit, approved by God Almighty. That is what Nigeria is trying to stop, which is not going to be possible. And that is why today is no longer possible. It has come to stay. Are you hearing me? And after this, you know, Simon Ekpa have already sent a message ahead. And let me tell you, in the next, by the grace of God, next week now you will see Simon Ekpa. And you know, Nigeria have been finding a way. It's as a result of for him not to be there, thinking that if he's not there, they have paid him back. No, Simon Ekpa is coming out to prove, because he said it, that by the time all these things happen, he will come out. Those that did not believe will not believe. Those that did not follow will now follow. You get it? So that is exactly the game. The game. Wisdom. The Bible said in the book of Proverbs, it said wisdom is a principle to direct. You get it? That is the wisdom. And remember, he have already prayed that prayer, asked God to give him 1,000 men wisdom. And that is the wisdom that is using today for Nigeria. Okay, are you getting it? He's using that 1,000 men wisdom for Nigeria, which God, he prayed to God, and God gave it to him. And today it's happening. By the time he comes out, you know, he has defeated Nigeria both spiritually, both physically, both mentally and every otherwise, internationally and locally. Go to the southeast, it's happening. Go to Finland, go to all other parts of the world, it's happening. Go to France, it's happening. Are you getting it? So now Nigeria is in coma. Nigeria is scared. The dimension of Simon Ekpa is the fear of Nigeria.
According to Mr. Miko, he said, you know, it was the Nigerian government that, you know, persuaded or put pressure on the Finland government to what? To detain him because of what? They don't want Ekpa close to that convention, you know, the 4 days convention. That's why, you know, they were pressured to, you know, detain him. Do you think that Nigeria were scared of global disgrace, or do you think that because of what? Of the tension, you know, some Ekpa, you know, might bring, or that's why, you know, they, you know, had to detain him?
The point of correction, sir, they did not detain him. Nigerian media is the one putting that. They didn't detain him, not even one day.
But according to Mr. Miko, he said he's currently at the metropolitan. That's what he called it.
He called it a metropolitan. Metropolitan, you should is under the checkmating of the metropolitan, not that it's in their custody, under detention. It's under their checkmating. It's under their watch, their investigation. You understand me? That is what it means. In case, you know, I don't blame Nigeria because it's not their fault, because, you know, English is not our language. We have our own father's language. We only borrow this one. So sometimes English is a problem to us. You know, the English, like I said, is a problem because it was not our official origin mother's language. So many Nigerians who did not understand the meaning of English misinterpret it. That's why Nigeria are misinterpreting the English word of what is happening and what is going on. You know, it will be a very public international disgrace. A very public open air international what? Disgrace. And a local what? Disgrace and shame to Federal Republic of Nigeria. If Simon Ekpa were to stand down that very day, as he said, to make any speech, you see why they mounted a serious pressure on Finland. And Finland has to for them to see that not that they are supporting terrorism, but they are kind of, okay, let us checkmate this young man. Why didn't they do it many days before now? Why did they even start it now? Because they don't want, they have tried all means, and Simon Ekpa did not succumb. So now they don't want him to be the one that will make a speech on that very day, thinking that that will be a way, a kind of to bring him down. But they don't know that it's a way of what? Promoting him the more. Because they themselves have seen that shame coming to them. Disgrace has fallen upon them. Finally, ridicule. Nigeria is completely being ridiculed by Simon Ekpa. In Finland, in the world, even in France. Do you forget the message from Macron to Tinubu? Anything pertaining to Biafra agitation, I stay off from it. I wash my hand. You can go elsewhere and seek for help, but not from me and my country people. That is to tell you that Nigeria has been completely defeated. They have been completely what? Defeated. All over the world. As I'm talking to you, a lot of congratulations to Simon Ekpa, to Biafra. And Simon Ekpa is, you know, his usual normal dancing. You understand? Oku Dioba. You understand me? Oku Dioba. Unquenchable fire. Unstoppable fire. A man with a charisma. That is Simon Ekpa. What Simon Ekpa has done is what Nigeria, nobody in Nigeria among them can do. That is what Simon Ekpa has done. Thank you.
But when Samuel Ekpa eventually comes out, on his or to use his Twitter or to tweet or to come alive, in his physical body.
He's going to mock Nigeria. He's coming out to mock Nigeria.
How do you think he's going to? Do you think this is going to put shock?
He's coming to mock Nigeria, to laugh Nigeria, to put Nigeria to their final burial. He's coming out to put Nigeria to final burial state. Number 6, Imala Street. That is what he's coming out to do. To put Nigeria at number 6. Into number 6. To push Nigeria into number 6, Imala Street. Ask Gogo. Gogo will explain this to you. Are you getting it? Number 6, Imala Street. That is what Simon Ekpa is coming out now. To send Nigeria to. Because the disgrace, the shame, disappointment, and everything, open show of Nigeria, Simon Ekpa has done it all.
Okay, but do you not think this will now make the Biafrans and Ekpa more confident after this time? Do you not think that will not give them, and since the world
before now we have confidence. Before now, Simon Ekpa have confidence. If he did not have confidence, he wouldn't have pushed it to this level. The world wouldn't have gathered. Dignitaries wouldn't have gathered from different countries to embrace the occasion. I don't know if you are getting it. Do you know what it means for a whole president to leave his country to embrace such occasion? Do you know what it means for UK and some representative from the House of Rep in America to embrace the occasion? Do you know what it means for a whole president of Eritrea to leave his country and travel to embrace the occasion? No. Baba, you should understand this. You should understand it. So we have that confidence, no fear. If Simon Ekpa have fear, he wouldn't have push it to this level. You get it? So there's nothing like fear. Nigeria cannot threaten us again. And they cannot stop us again. The years of being afraid of Nigeria is gone. Are you getting it? It's gone. We no longer fear Nigeria. We no longer scared of any of them. Don't you see, after this thing now, didn't you see how Abuja looked like? Aso Rock and the rest. Where is Christopher Musa? Where is he? Did you see him talk again? He's calm now. Where is Ononoga? Where is he? Do you see him talk again? What about those presidential aides? Where are they? What of Akpabio? Where is he? Where is that Yoruba man that is ranting? Where are they? Everywhere is calm. Even the president himself. Where is Shetima? I am asking, where is Shetima? Okay, Shetima is working in office. Okay, he's busy in the office. But when he was busy traveling, he doesn't have any assignment in the office. Okay, now he's busy. Make it busy, because busy is coming to meet busy. And it will become an overload on Shetima and the rest.
He said, if Atiku will be finally come together, do you think that the Igbos will want to vote for them, because they want what they are asking for is Biafra? They said they have no business with 2027 election.
Obi might be the last option of trying to put Nigeria into unity, and if at that level, it might have gone beyond that, given the level things are now. The reality is unveiling on daily basis. The Biafran quest has taken a global dimension and international, certainty. People are beginning to giraffe. World leaders are meeting over, Biafran cause. The Igbo nation in 88 countries of the world has continued to spread the understanding and the solidarity for the world to recognize, including the United Nations, the republic and the sovereignty of Biafra. And there's a lot of reasons why Biafra is more bigger than what Obi is actually trying to achieve. But if we didn't get that sovereignty as it is now, in terms of reality and solidarity, having been recognized by all major nations of the world, of course, the advancement for Igbo political will and weaponry will start from Obi, to the rest of Nigerians, to see how Igbos are going to muster the political strength at the end of the day, to deliver that mandate, to Obi. The Igbos love Obi so much. They love Obi because Obi seems to be the only symbol, of integrity Nigeria can be proud of. And Igbos have already seen him, as the only political figure with the dexterity and integrity, to transform and move Nigeria to Eldorado. The Northern people also agreed with Obi in that regard, and we can see that actually played out during the last election, 2023 election, where Peter Obi, single-handedly, even though he was underrated, came up. And I know that most of his votes came as a result of sympathy, as a result of signs of deep marginalization. That they were even warned that, I think, Pa Ayo came out and said it, that, if Peter Obi did not emerge the president of Nigeria in 2023, it might lead to the end of Nigeria. And that is why we are seeing, the Biafran nation, spreading like wildfire, across the four corners of the world. People are seeing Biafra as the only body or nation, that will represent a free world, just like what Americans representing today. For the black man needs Biafra to survive. Biafra means a lot to the black race. It's not about an Igbo thing, but still we are still talking about what Igbos are going to gain from Peter Obi emerging president 2027. The problem is that, with the North and the South muscle the presidency completely out from Tinubu and his men, who has helped Nigeria, who has taken Nigeria, to emergency unit. Nigeria is currently in emergency unit, struggling for life at the end of the day, and that is why you see the whole thing, moving from left to right. Like Atiku will say, Atiku have already said, it is trial and error. Bola Kija. I think if I might get it right, administration. That means the worst set of incompetent presidency in the history of Nigeria is what we are experiencing under Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A Southerner whom people believe that would have been more sophisticated than any president coming from the North. But we are seeing the other aspect of it completely, and for us here, it is not a welcome development. But no matter how you look at it, Nigeria still remains a corrupt, surviving, occupied by corruption. Nigeria is occupied by corruption. How would I occupied enemy? Now, Nigeria is an occupied enemy of itself, and that enemy is corruption. Is that corruption is an occupying force in Nigeria. Then how do we eradicate that? The question still goes to those who have been, destroying Nigeria in terms of leadership. And if the North feels that it is time to give leadership to an Igbo man to be able to rescue Nigeria from the grave, well, whatever happens, I think it will take a divine navigation for Nigeria to be rescued at this point in time, considering that the rising sun, the first Jewish black nation in the world, has made a global impact for solidarity. It's a splitted atmosphere politically now. If you look at what is the situation in the east, in the west, of course in the north, but the north seems to have a direct influential voting power in other regions, because the other region has not consciously wake up to the reality of mastering what they have in terms of the electorates going to the polling unit to elect their leaders. And the North seem to have the upper one. That's the major thinking of other tribes and other regions. But the fact still remains presently now that the level of sensitization in the North politically in terms of voting and that of the South is quite divided currently now, because the South sees themselves as more sophisticated. They do not attach religion to political favor or struggle or quest at the end of the day. So the South has its own unique approach to election matters, while the North themselves see politics as religion. So there's going to be another factor that will be factored into any merger that's going to take place between maybe Labour Party, PDP, NNPP, or some of the political parties at the end of the day. So how we're going to look at that depends on how they are going to be able to position themselves currently now. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's APC is in dilemma currently now as a result of the anti-people policy. You can see most of his policies are being shut down on arrival. The North seems to be overwhelmingly, showing that they still have what it takes to make anything work or make any bill policy work in Nigeria, especially those ones that are considered or being seen as an anti-North is being shut down completely. We see the Southern senators and we begin to ask questions. What is actually the problem this time around? Why would the North, why would the South be docile, completely dormant, and sit down in the red chambers and watch the North intimidate them? If you're looking at directly, what that means is people are beginning to ask Bola Ahmed Tinubu's relevant, important question. Do you actually mean this tax reform? What are the benefits? It is in two ways. Why the North is rejecting it is because they believe that it is going to squeeze the economic life, considering the fact that it is more of a producing zone than a manufacturing zone, and manufacturing too has to do with that's where government put a lot of interest in terms of value added tax at the end of the day. But they forget that North too is productive in their own way, because most of the things that are being taken or being exported in terms of agriculture and thereabout, is still coming from that arena. So, and then given the level of poverty and non-sophistication in the northern part of the country, they feel and they felt that at this point they don't need to embrace any political reform, or tax reform that is going to put the entire region on a risk. The government have just moved from 10% to 25%. What it means is that they added 2.5%, to the previous value added tax. What it means is that our government is going to be having more money, while the citizens themselves, are going to be crawling for survival, and it will be very devastating for some regions, especially in the north, where they consider it a maximum threat. Like, a lot of people might not see why the likes of Ndume and the governor of Borno State, Zulum, coming out to say, it need to be thrown, it need to be thrown to the dustbin for now. Even at that, we have seen subsequent policies like that. The Southerners are not able to shut it down. The Southern senators are not able to shut it down. But what happened? They will see at the end of the day, the North have its way. But no matter how bad it is this tax reform actually going to benefit Nigerians? Or what is it that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is actually trying to drive with this tax reform? It is a purely tax regime. This is exactly what Lagosians experienced. Why in Lagos, especially, it was directly targeted on Igbo business people in Lagos. Because the Yorubas and the Hausas, the volume of their business cannot be compared with that of Igbo man. So he used it to look at that angle of squeezing the Igbo businesses here in Lagos and putting enormous resources on the hand of Yorubas. Like what you want to, people are perceiving, that's actually what you want to achieve with the tax reform is trying to carry out at the national level, where it will be seen that after successfully globalizing his administration, he is pushing for a tax reform that will put more money on the Yorubas, and by that time he will use it to establish a kind of political dynasty that he will want to sustain beyond 2027. So Nigerians need to be wise. The reason why the Northerners are kicking against it, the struggle is already clear. Why the North is also making sure that that tax reform is actually backanized. But on the South, men looking at it, it might be somehow beneficial because it is part of the reform, regionalism, restructuring, on significant or insignificant principles of what he understands. Because most of the manufacturing and most of the productive resources and economic services, are domiciled here in the South. So at that point, they believe that it is likely is targeted at creating wealth for the Yorubas, while other regions are going to suffer. But the funny thing is that it has passed the first reading, it has passed the second reading, and is the president actually bent on pushing further for that reform, tax reform? If it goes further, that's what the Northerners are saying, then he might be in for impeachment, he might be in for a threat that would destabilize and balkanize the nation at the end of the day. That is what it is all about. That is what the tax reform can be stands for. But another aspect of it is that what would the states be taking at the end of the day? We would have made it very clearly to everybody, instead of taking it bit by bit, that go into the journalism holistically, go into restructuring holistically, and stop this cosmetic approach to the real thing of regionalism. I think that's what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to achieve. His presence in France, considering the level of borrowing, is also a threat to Nigerian economy. Forget what the Tinubu administration is trying to paint, that at the end of the day, it looks like things are going to come up, but Nigerians now understand better that we might be in for another propaganda, given what is happening in Port Harcourt refinery, where the government came out a few days ago and make an official announcement that the Port Harcourt refinery is in functionality. But we have not seen, a few days after, we are beginning to see different opinions, different counter-motion, lies, uncertainty, or everything. There's no transparency. And that was why when stakeholders of this nation called Nigeria looked at the poor handling of this administration by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they decided that I think it is better, it is high time, for us to come together and see what we were going to do. Of course, Atiku, for me, I respect Atiku a lot to an extent, because he has been very objective, he has been very systematic, and he has been very political about the issues surrounding Nigeria. He extended. A lot of people are asking, why did Atiku Abubakar actually love Peter Obi? Why this love? He has come out publicly to express his love for Obi, and people are asking, why did Atiku, are they trying to stop the Biafran liberation from Nigeria? Is that why the Northerners are using Obi at the end of the day? knowing fully well that Obi commands mass influence across the eastern part of the country and of course beyond. What is it actually building up? And look at Obi's antecedents, his credentials, and his political influence so far. He is more favored to be at the position to rescue Nigeria from the mortuary. And that is why Atiku Abubakar invited him in Adamawa, where they sat down and I think a lot of things went down the drain. A lot of things should be on the pipeline. Nigerians must be in for another one-term president if care is not taken. The North are not smiling about Tinubu's reform. And of course, the South, the entire Nigeria, are mourning the consequences and the wickedness bestowed on them by Yakubu Mahmoud, who happens to be the INEC, a chairman that brought the calamity Nigerians are facing today. Let me give you an insight apart from that one. We are talking about a situation where we are buying 195 per liter when Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into power. Today, we are talking about 1,000 plus per liter. That is a serious problem. That is serious mismanagement. That is serious, incompetency. That is serious. There's no synergy in Tinubu's leadership between Nigerians and APC administration. And I think before the country finally, collapse to mystery, there's need for them to come together. And that's why Atiku Abubakar is actually stepping forward in that direction. We're expecting a lot of things.